It's Valentine's Day this week. I decided I would drive my van out into the desert with the little Honda Trail 125, the bike that I've been having so much fun with lately. Find a place to set up a nice camp, cook a good meal with Eva, just have ourselves a really good, relaxing time camping and riding motorcycles in the Sonoran desert. Stick around, this is going to be a relaxing but fun journey. I really like these van and motorcycle camping adventures because I feel like I get the best of both worlds. I get to ride my motorcycle all day long and then come home to the creature comforts of the van in the evening. And so when I get a chance to take off on a trip like this one in southern Arizona, boy, am I happy to be able to do so. This is my 1999 Chevrolet Express with a Quigley 4x4 conversion, and on the back I've got my 2022 Honda Trail 125. I carry it on the back of my van with this rack made by a company out of California called Joe Hauler. Incidentally, this rack is strong enough to carry my 500-pound BMW 1200 GS on the back of the van as well, so it's not too bad. So I've had my 4x4 van for about 11 years now. It was used when I bought it in 2013 with about 75,000 miles on it. And so today it's got about 175,000 miles on it. And it's a 1999, so it's 25 years old. It's almost vintage at this point. And one of the things that I like the most about it is that I'm not afraid to really use it. In other words, I'm not afraid to get it dirty or scratch it up, or if I decide that I want to change something on the interior or the exterior, I'm not afraid to get out the hammer and the screw gun and do some modifications. It took me a little while to find the perfect camping location, but I think I found a really good spot on top of a hill overlooking the desert. I think Eva will be happy with this place. So this is the perfect time of year to come out to the Sonoran Desert. In the summertime, it would be way too hot, like around 115 degrees or so. But right now in the middle of February, it's about 72 degrees, which feels just about perfect. And I'm going to call it a night, get up early tomorrow morning and go for a ride. The road out of the campsite is pretty rough. It's definitely a 4x4 road. I had to travel in through a couple of washes. That makes it less likely that I'll see anyone else around my campsite. But right now I'm just exploring the back roads, riding around on these bumpy, rocky roads. This little trail bike really has no problem going down these kinds of roads. You just want to avoid the bigger rocks and obstacles because it doesn't really have the tires or suspension. But for your typical smooth trails like these, it is a blast to ride. And it's no less fun than riding my bigger bike. In fact, I think it might even be more fun just because it's a less stressful experience. It's so light and maneuverable and small and easy to get in and out, easy to turn around and just have a blast. And then when it's time to leave the trails and head into the city, it's no less fun. And so this is the historic old mining town of Ajo, Arizona, with its active mine and a beautiful, beautiful Spanish colonial style plaza downtown with a really nice coffee shop, a place to take a break and get something to eat. And as you can see, this is a pretty quiet, peaceful town. It's definitely not a big city or anything like that. I took a trip over to the historical museum on the edge of town, and it wasn't open, but I was able to poke around the yard and look at some of the artifacts. I really hope to be able to go back there someday when the museum is open. After the museum, I decided that I wanted to ride up this road going up to the top of a nearby mountain. I could see the cell towers, the communication towers up on top of the mountain, and what looked like a somewhat rugged and steep road going up there. So I thought it would be fun to take the little Honda trail up this road and see what kind of view there is up at the top of the mountain. And so that's what I'm doing right now, riding up this steep hill. You can see the communications towers up there on the top. And again, the bike's not really having any problem going up this hill. It's pretty steep, and there's some big gullies from the rain and some rocky sections, but I just choose my line, and before I know it, I'm up at the top. Riding motorcycles now as an adult for 30 years, and during that time, as you can imagine, my experiences and relationship with motorcycling has changed quite a bit. And one of the things that inevitably happens is that you go through different phases of motorcycling and maybe try different bikes, ride different sizes of motorcycles, climb the ladder of horsepower. And that's what I've done. I've went from 500 cc's to 650 to 800 to 1200. And along the way, I've had a lot of really fun, challenging, memorable, rewarding experiences. But there does come a point at the nether regions of 3 decades of motorcycling where, if I were to be honest, you get to a point where you've kind of lost sight of or lost touch of those original feelings and impulses. That's not to say that motorcycling isn't fun, because it certainly remains fun, but it's a long ways away from what it felt like when I was just getting started out. And that's one of the joys of riding a small bike like the Honda 125 for me, is that it kind of makes me feel those emotions and feelings that I had when I was first starting out riding motorcycles, even as a child. I get on this little bike with its diminutive form factor and its 9 horsepower, and it just feels exciting, and it feels new, and it feels fresh, and it feels fun. And it kind of takes me back to my origins of motorcycling in a way that the big, powerful machines don't. And so I definitely feel like there is a place for a small motorcycle like this in my stable. It's perfect for exploring these little backcountry desert trails like I'm doing this weekend. And thinking about the theme of this video and Valentine's Day, I would not hesitate to say that it's almost a love affair with this small bike that I've been in the midst of these last few weeks of finally being able to ride it out on the trails in conditions like these. Now, will the romance end? Is this just a honeymoon phase? That has yet to be determined. I haven't taken it on any long trips yet, but right now I'm just enjoying it for what it is, enjoying the feeling of love for this small machine and the feeling of joy that it brings me bringing me back to the origins of motorcycling and what it felt like to ride my first motorcycles. There you have it. I don't know if you can relate to what I'm saying, if it means anything to you, but that's kind of how it feels for me right now, and I look forward to seeing where this journey between myself and this small motorcycle will take me. Like I said in the last video, I'm really looking forward to getting it out on a longer camping trip. Hopefully I'll be able to do that soon and share my experience with you about what it's like to go on a longer trip on a little bike like this. It should be interesting. Wonder if there's anywhere we could buy some firewood here in town. Well, all right, check this out. I got the old girl loaded up with some firewood here. All right, man.
You good?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not going too far. We'll see you tomorrow. If not, then the next day.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you. What's your name? Adrian. Nice to meet you. Well, now it's time to head back to my campsite out in the desert and make preparations for Eva's arrival. What a great feeling to know that I have everything all set up for a great night of camping out here in the desert. And here she comes now. Eva bought an almost new KTM 690, which should complement my Husqvarna 701 pretty well. It's nice when you go riding with your partner to both be on similar motorcycles. This is a great opportunity for Eva to get out of the office and relax for a little bit, and for me to relax my hand for a while. The injury is recovering nicely. It's still a bit stiff, but I think it's good that I'm out here riding around on my motorcycle. Today we're going to go for a motorcycle ride together down to the Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. In order to get to the entrance, we'll have to drive down the highway, which means that my little motorcycle will be pushed to the max at 51 miles an hour. This is the road that we're looking for, and it's a 21-mile loop that takes you through the heart of the Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. This park is the only place in the United States where organ pipe cactus grow wild. And it's filled with all kinds of other desert cacti. In fact, there's so many cool desert cacti here that the monument was declared a biosphere reserve by UNESCO in 1977. And 95% of Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument is a wilderness area. This is a really fun place to ride a little motorcycle on an afternoon like this. Part of the drive is on an unpaved dirt road and part of it is on a paved road, but all of it is scenic. And there's several places to stop and take a break and have a look at the surrounding desert and the special organ pipe cactus that grow down here. Well, I really hope that you've enjoyed riding around the desert with me on my little Honda 125, the bike that I'm seemingly having a new romance with. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to getting out and taking a camping trip with this little Honda 125. Maybe that'll be coming up soon on this channel. In the meantime, be well and we'll see you next time.